This video is all about waste and ways in which we can try and reduce the amount of waste that we're all producing. I think we need to be more aware for future generations that they're not left with all this waste that we're putting into landfills, into the environment, and most importantly the waste that ends up in our oceans. You hear a lot about plastics in the oceans. There's a huge amount in there. I will be doing a separate video, a completely separate video about plastics in oceans. But I just wanted to give you guys a few tips and things on how you can reduce your own waste. So firstly, buying loose fruit and veg. I think it's quite important that when we do our food shop that we are buying as much food as possible that doesn't come in packaging. You can find a huge selection in your superstores. They offer a wide selection of fruit and veg. You can pick your own, you can pick the amount that you need, you can pick the freshest, so that it's actually a win-win situation for you. And yeah, you're not buying more of that product and you won't end up wasting food. You can also go to your local Whole Food stores. I did mention it in my previous video that we have a local Whole Food store near us. So you take your own containers and you fill it up with a lot of dried foods. So we get things like seeds, nuts, rice and cereals from there. We actually go for the organic option, but they do also offer a non-organic option that is a little bit cheaper too. When you get takeaways, save the containers. I know that not all takeaways do the plastic containers, but if they do, where I work, I get a takeaway, or I get given food every time that I work in a plastic container. So I keep that, I wash it out quickly. Do make sure you do wash it out quickly if it's had something in curry, like curry or kind of like a stainy food or smelly food, because it will stain and it will make your food smell. So don't leave it to wash it out. Stop using cling film and sandwich bags and tin foil for your lunches for the next day. You can use these takeaway containers that you're keeping. It's such a waste using single-use sandwich bags and cling film, so stop doing that. Use containers. Your food will stay fresher and it won't get squished in your bag, so win-win. Stop using plastic bottles and takeaway cups. If you know you're going to be out for a long time, like to uni, I'll take my travel cup, and they also give a discount if you take it there too. They offer a 20p discount, so it's actually saving me money and it's meaning that I'm not producing waste. These so-called recyclable cups that they give you are not completely recyclable. They're lined with plastic, so it takes a lot of energy to separate the plastic bit to the cardboard bit. Yes, the cardboard bit can be recycled, but the plastic bit can't, so just be aware. Be aware of how much food you're cooking. Don't waste food. If you need to, weigh it. If you're not so sure of how much you need to cook for the amount of people that you're cooking for, weigh it first. Obviously, unless that you are cooking for the day after, so you're doing food prep, do cook that a little bit more. It saves yourself electric too. But be aware of the amount of food that you're buying, you're cooking, and that you're not throwing away, because there's a huge amount of food waste, and I will be doing a completely new video on food waste because it's such a big thing at the moment. There's starving people in the world, and in the UK we throw a hell of a lot of food away, so just be aware. So there's food waste. And composting, make sure that you compost. If you grow your own vegetables, compost is great. You can put such things as coffee grinds in there. You can put your loose peels. Make sure that you're not putting ones that have been waxed. You get a lot of oranges and things like that that are waxed, so they're not so great putting in compost, but it's great. It adds nutrients back into the soils. If you don't know, well, if you don't grow food yourself, if you know someone that does, keep your compost and give it to them. They'd be happy to take it off you, because I know with my allotment I'm happy to take any food waste that anyone offers me. I'll whack it on my compost heap and it creates good nutritious compost for my food growing, so that's great. Things like lighters. I'm not encouraging you guys to smoke, but I do know that a lot of people have lighters to light candles at home. Make sure you're buying the refillable lighters. There's no need to be using these lighters that only last kind of the amount of times that they do last, but then you can't refill them, so make sure that you are getting refillable lighters. Things like lists. I'm a list person and I write a lot of lists. I write a daily list, and I've just started writing it on a whiteboard. So I've got a whiteboard in my kitchen that I write my daily lists on. At the end of the day, you can rub it out and then you can start again the next day. It's also great. Things like statements. You can choose an option with your bank to get your statements sent via email. The same with receipts. I know a lot of shops are doing that now. You can you can get them to send it via online, so it saves you paper. Also, if you need to find a receipt, I know I lose a lot of things, so if they sent it to me, it's easier to find too. Things like clothes. Don't just throw clothes away if you've got a hole in them. Learn to remake new clothes, like jeans. If you get a hole in them, cut them into new shorts. You can create new jeans. I actually got a hole in this top that I'm wearing now, so I want to show you guys what I've done to it. So I've just made kind of like a slit look in the back. I got a big hole in the bottom and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to throw a perfectly good top away, so I've created a new funky top and a unique top. I will show you guys how to do that in a further video. So we've done clothes. What else do I want to talk to you about? So I want to talk to you just generally about learning to fix things. If something's broken, a lot of the time you can fix it. Learn to repair things. It's so important at this day and age that we're not just throwing things away when we think they're broken. Also, someone you might know might be able to fix it too. So yeah, if you have a few things that are broken, or if you do break something, have a think if you can repair it before you do throw it away. Stop using single-use plastics. That's such a big thing. Like, takeaway cups, like I mentioned before. Just these single-use plastics are ridiculous. They're so durable, but we use them once, so just be aware of what you are throwing away and what you're kind of getting. So if you do get some takeaway food while you're out, ask to use one of their forks if you're sitting in. Don't just take a takeaway fork because you think it's easier for you and easier for them because they don't need to wash it. Learn where your local recycling points are. I know, like with our council, they don't accept a lot of plastics in the recycling, but I do know that you can go to recycling points and they actually accept a lot more plastics. So learn where your local recycling points are, and if the things that you're trying to recycle aren't accepted in your local councils, they often are at these local recycling points. There's so many things that I want to chat to you, but I hope some of the things that I have mentioned have been helpful. Oh, makeup too. So things like makeup, mascara and eyeliner, liquid makeup. A lot of the time you can get a lot more uses out of them if you run them under hot water. You can also put kind of mascaras in a cup of boiling water, and it stops it being so cloggy, and you can also get a lot more uses out of it. So give that a go with mascaras, liquid eyeliners and nail varnishes too. So yeah, things like that. Please just be more aware of the waste that you're throwing away. It's maybe a good idea, if you are interested in reducing your waste, to go a whole week and put all your waste aside just so that you're aware of what you're throwing away. But do remember that anything that you reduce is such a help. Anything makes such a difference. And yes, I'm not saying you have to do everything all at once. We definitely aren't. We're going to assess which things will work best at our lives right now, and aim to reduce as much waste as we can for the future. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're trying to reduce your waste too. And I'll see you next week. Keep smiling, guys.